Welcome to my next 100 Season 1 episode review video. Before I talk about that though, pretty important, if you haven't watched the first 12 episodes of the 100 Season 1, then it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And full disclosure, I've already seen the 100 all the way through one time. Really like the show. I think it's really solid, although I think it falls off in the final two seasons. However, you have 5 really solid seasons. So, join me on the journey. Let's discuss this mostly awesome and amazing show in the comments section. With that said, this will be the 100, Season 1, Episode 12. The title of this episode is called We Are Grounders Part 1. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. We start with Jaha, who is speaking with the council and the station representatives, telling them that there is no way for anyone to get to Earth. He says the 100 are their final hope and everyone should find peace within themselves in their final hours. He releases all the rations. After everyone else leaves, besides Marcus Kane, Abby tells Jaha that she needs to help a patient injured in the Exodus ship disaster and leaves. Marcus Kane asks if Jaha is sure there is no way, and Jaha tells him to spend his final time. However, he wishes rerunning simulations, but he prefers to spend it with a bottle of 97-year-old scotch. Raven is setting up a minefield, and Bellamy tells her he doesn't want anyone leaving camp. She gets upset because Clark, Finn, and Monty are still missing. Sterling falls asleep on watch and accidentally fires his gun. Bellamy yells at him for wasting bullets. Octavia tells Bellamy that he's scaring people. Bellamy tells them that they should be scared because the Grounders are out there waiting for them, and it's the camp that is keeping them alive. He orders them all back to work. Clark is still Anya's hostage at a campfire in the woods. Tristan arrives and Anya asks Tristan if the commander sent him, and he tells her that her unit is now his. He brought his rangers to complete what Anya failed to do, starting with Clark. Just then, a signal fire is spotted in the distance, announcing Reapers. Tristan tells Anya to take care of Clark, and Anya asks one of her warriors if Finn is dead. The warrior nods, and Anya tells him to finish Clark as well and catches up with them when he's done. Clark tries to run away, and he grabs her chains, yanking her back hard enough that she hits her head and is knocked unconscious. Bellamy is going over their war model of the dropship and surrounding area, while Miles is moaning in pain from his injuries after the Grounders attacked him and took Finn and Clark. Jasper doesn't think it's right that Bellamy doesn't want to go after Monty, Clark, and Finn. Jasper goes upstairs for more gunpowder as Miles asks for some water. Bellamy leaves the dropship to get it. A plastic bag is placed over Miles' head, and Murphy suffocates him for trying to hang him before. Jasper comes down and catches him in the act. Murphy tries to play it off, but he sees Jasper eyeing the gun and grabs it first. Murphy tells Jasper that Miles tried to kill him. Bellamy comes in over the radio in Jasper's pocket, asking what's going on, and Jasper warns Bellamy that Murphy has a gun just as Murphy knocks Jasper out and closes the door, the dropship door. Clark awakens riding in front of a grounder on a 2-headed horse through the woods. They arrive at the hilltop signal fire, and she is let down and released. Finn comes from behind the fire, and they hug. The grounder removes his mask to reveal it's actually Lincoln, who had to kill one of his own people to save them. They see the signal fire that Anya lit in response, go out, and Lincoln warns them it means that Anya knows Clark and Finn are free, and Lincoln tells them to run. They reach the Reaper tunnels just as Anya and Tristan arrive. Anya shoots arrows into the mines after them. Tristan tells Anya to let them go because they know where they're going if the mines don't kill them first. Abby and Jackson are working on an injured girl who looks a lot like Clark on the Exodus. Jackson tells her they should have left her alone because they'll be all dead in 2 days anyway. The girl begins to crash, and Abby gives her a shot of Ephedrine. And then when she asks Jackson for more, she tells her that they're all out, and Abby has to let her patient go. Abby tells Jackson that Clark blames her for her father's death, and she'll never get to hug her again or protect her anymore. Jackson tells her that Clark is strong-willed, just like her mother, and that will keep her alive on the ground. They hug and she tells him to leave before she starts crying over the dead patient. Octavia comes running up to Bellamy asking if it's true that Murphy has Jasper. Bellamy asks her if she's finished with the South Foxhole because no one seems to be working. Octavia starts yelling out to Murphy to leave Jasper alone and asks Bellamy if he's ever going to do anything. Raven walks up and tells Bellamy he was right. She can get under the floor of the dropship. Octavia apologizes. Bellamy gets on the radio and tells Murphy that all their food and ammo are on the middle level and they need it. He tells Murphy that the person he really wants to hurt is him, not Jasper, and offers to take Jasper's place. Octavia warns Bellamy that Murphy will kill him, and Bellamy tells her that if he doesn't do this, then Murphy will kill Jasper. Murphy opens the dropship door and gives Bellamy 10 seconds to get inside the dropship. Bellamy walks in and Murphy tosses a bound and gagged Jasper out before closing the dropship door again. Lincoln lights a fire to make a torch and tells them that they have to keep moving. Lincoln was hit by one of Anya's arrows and Clark offers to help him out with it. She asks Lincoln why he is helping them and pushes the arrow all the way through his side so he can break it off the arrowhead and pull the arrow out. Lincoln tells them that he's helping them because what his people are doing is wrong, and Clark cauterizes his wound for him. Under the dropship, Raven and Jasper are looking around, trying to find a way to hotwire the dropship door open. Raven notices that there is a ton of hydrazine left over from when the 100 dropship crash landed and tells him no shooting or they could blow. Just then, Murphy fires a warning shot at Bellamy and Octavia calls in on the radio to make sure he's all right. Murphy tells Bellamy to start making himself a noose out of the seatbelts, and he is then allowed to let Octavia know he is okay. Bellamy also tells her to tell Raven to hurry up. Jasper tells Raven to get the door open as Murphy has Bellamy toss the noose over a beam. Bellamy asks him if Murphy wants an apology and tells Murphy sincerely that he is sorry. And Murphy tells him that he wants to feel what he felt when he then died. Jaha is watching home movies while contemplating his night, and then he contemplates opening a 97-year-old scotch. And then on the video, a young Clark and young Wells are practicing for the Unity Day celebration when Wells asks how the Ark stays in orbit. Clark mentions that the thrusters all over the Ark that keeps the Ark spinning to generate their own gravity. This gives Jaha an idea and he takes off. Lincoln is leading Clark and Finn back toward the camp by using a map he took off an enemy. Clark hears noises and Lincoln says it's Reapers. Murphy makes Bellamy stand on a stool and put the noose over his head. Murphy pulls the rope tighter, making Bellamy stand on his toes and asks him what he is thinking now. Lincoln leads Finn and Clark toward a tunnel blocked off by a group of Reapers, and they see a mine cart filled with dead bodies. Lincoln gives Finn his book and his sword for Octavia and tells them to wait for him to lead the Reapers away, and when they will need to run through the tunnel to get back to the camp. He tells them to get all of the 100 out of there before Tristan's scouts arrive and tells Clark to take the 100 to Luna's clan in the east. Lincoln then attacks a Reaper and kills him, making all of the other Reapers chase after him. Once the tunnel is empty, Clark and Finn proceed down it, with Clark stopping at the minecart. She pulls away a tarp and reveals a barely alive Grounder reaching out for help and realizes they're all still alive. A Reaper attacks them and has Finn by the throat when Finn grabs a rock and bashes the Reaper's head in. Murphy tells Bellamy that he is a coward because he kicked out the crate under Murphy's feet. Underneath the dropship, Raven has found the wires that control the door and tells Jasper to get outside and be ready. Bellamy admits to Murphy that he should have stopped them. Murphy tells him it's too late for now and begins to talk about Clark being dead and killing Octavia. Bellamy tries to kick him and Murphy pulls the rope tighter. Underneath, Raven accidentally sparks some wires making noises. Murphy thinks it's Octavia and shoots several rounds into the dropship floor before his gun jams. Bellamy sees his opportunity and begins struggling against the noose, but Murphy kicks the stool from out under his feet, or from under him first. Bellamy gasps at the rope around his throat, and Murphy says Bellamy is cheating as he tries to grab Bellamy's hands, but instead Bellamy punches him in the face. Murphy then hits Bellamy several times in the stomach with the butt of the gun just as the dropship door opens. Murphy flees upstairs and blocks the hatch door while Jasper and Octavia run inside and save Bellamy. Bellamy begins beating on the hatch door trying to get in, and Murphy finds one last bullet for his gun. Finn and Clark have made it out of the Reaper tunnels and stop by a stream where Finn begins washing the dead Reaper's blood off his hands. Clark tells him he did what he had to do. He tells her he's in love with her, and she says she's sorry, but he broke her heart and she can't be in a relationship with him. They hear a loud explosion coming from the camp and rush off. Bellamy has finally gotten the hatch open and discovers that Murphy used the bullet to hit a can of gunpowder to blow a hole into the side of the dropship. Jasper asks if they should go after him, but Bellamy says that the grounders will take care of Murphy. Instead, he asks Jasper to go with him to look for Clark, Monty, and Finn. Jasper hugs him in appreciation. A voice on the radio reports movement outside the wall, and Jasper and Bellamy rush outside. Miller tells them to open the gate for Clark and Finn. Finn tells everyone that it's time to pack because they need to leave. Bellamy asks where they would go that's safer than behind the walls of the camp. And Finn tells them about the tribe to the east. Bellamy tells the 100 that they built this home from the ground, and now they're on the ground. They're all grounders. Clark says that Bellamy is right, that their camp is safe, but that if they stay, they will die, and tells them to pack only what they can carry. As the 100 disband, Finn gives Octavia Lincoln's sword, and Raven appears from underneath the dropship after having been shot by Murphy. Clark has Finn take Raven into the dropship, while Bellamy tells Clark he thinks she's making a bad decision and leaders need to do what they think is right, not what's popular. Clark tells him that she is as the camp prepares to leave. Marcus Kane is running through simulations with Sinclair as he tries to find a way to save some of their people. Jaha enters and asks if they've tried not saving the Ark yet. He suggests that they use the thrusters to propel the Ark into the atmosphere and asks Sinclair to find the 5% of the Ark that would survive, asking if anybody has a better idea and if Abby is ready to see her daughter again. And that's what ends this episode of The 100. So pretty good episode. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. The characters of the episode, I'm going to give it to John Murphy and Lincoln. They were really pivotal. Of course, this is part 1 of the series, the season finale of The 100, so make sure to tune in next week if you're a fan of The 100 and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button, share this video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are regarding this episode of The 100. What would you rate it, and who would be your character of the episode? And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel. Help me get over 100K subscribers. Join the team. Show your damn support and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.